Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. This is Rag Florida Fishing. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be sitting right here talking to you guys. I'm going to be going over my top 3 fish from 2024 that I've caught on video. And then I'm going to go over my top 5 baits I think every fisherman should have in their tackle box at all times, no matter where you're fishing. I'm going to go over my rods and reels that I use on every trip. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about life, get a little bit personal with you guys and share some of my 2 cents about, goals and, how that kind of stuff worked for me this year. And, New Year's resolutions are a thing. And I don't want you guys to sleep on that. It's a real thing, and it worked for me this year, and I would like to share my experience with you guys. And if one of you guys takes this advice and does it and gets your goals, then this video is worth it. So all right guys, let's get started with the top 3 fish catches of 2024 for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is a monster. Holy cow. Oh. Oh my God, that is a monster snook. Or jack. Holy cow. I saw. Oh my God, that is a Mondo jack. Oh, this is gonna be a long fight. I just want to get him away from these docks. Just keep that pressure. Oh yeah. Oh, easy. Oh, easy. Oh, no, get out of this dock. Oh my God. He's pulling the boat. On the little 4,000. Oh, stay out of those docks. I gotta put pressure on him. Pressure. He's pulling the boat. I can't even gain ground. Wait, is this a shark? I don't know what this is. I think it might be a shark. He's kind of fighting like a shark now. If it is, I'm surprised he hasn't cut me off. I mean, regardless, I think it might be a shark. He's not really fighting like a jack anymore. I just want to see him. Oh, it is a monster jack. Oh. That is a freaking tank. Holy cow. Okay. He's just spinning me around. He's playing with me. Oh, that's a stud. Oh, I'm shaking. What a fight. Oh my God. That is a donkey. Oh, oh my God. Oh, look at Altoon. I love it. Oh, I'm shaking. What a fish. Oh, 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 come on, buddy. Let's get you. Oh, oh, oh my God, he's freaking huge. He's just spinning me around. Oh man, he's rubbing up on my line. Okay. Oh, he's not as big as I thought, but he's still a big one. Man, he's so strong. Oh my God. Berkeley jerk shad. I saw him head waking and I threw at him and he just choked it. Oh. Oh, come on, buddy. All right. He's getting tired. Just gotta throw him hard. He's getting tired. Oh, it's a monster. Oh, oh, look at the head. Oh, oh, no. The head on that thing. Oh my God. I saw his dorsal. I thought it was a shark. Oh, holy. Oh my God. It is bigger. Oh. Oh, he's spraying me. It's getting really tired out. I can't. Oh. This is why I fish light tackle. This, oh my God, what an amazing fight. Okay, all right, buddy. Let's see. Come on. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Oh no, oh no. I don't know how to get him up. Crap. He's too heavy. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, what a freaking tank. Hold on. Better Snook. Oh, is that a redfish? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know how to land one of these. I've never caught one before. Oh, stay hooked, stay hooked, stay hooked. Oh, oh my God.
I was able to catch a fish of a lifetime, and it was completely unexpected. I wasn't big fish hunting. I was using extremely light tackle, and this fish took me on the ride of a lifetime, and I will never ever forget this until the day that I die.
Recess here. Oh. Oh. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna loosen up. If that's a snook, it's freaking giant. this is. It kind of feels like a shark, maybe? Come on, just come up top. Oh, get out. No, it's not a shark. It wouldn't be going into the mangroves like that. Oh, stay out, stay out. Oh my God, he's all the way back in there. What is this? What in the crap? Oh no, come on. I could see my leader. What is this? Oh my God, it's a giant snook. Oh my God. Oh my God. This thing is a tank. I'm gonna play him so light. Oh my God. On the little 3-inch shrimp. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, baby, be easy. Be easy. Be easy. Be easy. Be easy. Be easy. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Holy cow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, on the little 3-inch shrimp. The little do it. 3-inch shrimp. Oh my God. Holy cow. Oh my God. Guys, 43 inches.
Guys, watching those clips is really, really awesome for me because, you know, being a fisherman, you know, anytime you catch a fish of a lifetime like that is really cool, you know. I know that a lot of us see a lot of big fish being caught on YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how those guys do it. Those guys are beyond, you know, their skills, their knowledge is way beyond me. Their time on the water, the time that they've spent finding these spots to catch giants or, you know, all the time, you know, that is incredible. And I love watching it. It's really cool to watch because even still, you know, most of us don't go out and catch giants every day or, you know, all that kind of stuff, but it's cool to watch their techniques and stuff like that. But the premise of my channel was to show what it's like for a normal Joe Schmo to go out fishing and, you know, catch fish and figure it out. Like, I have pretty basic fishing knowledge, you know, as far as like snook, jack, tarpon, all that stuff. You know, a lot of that stuff I've learned over the last 6-7 months since I started the channel. And you know, especially being limited in, you know, the type of boat I have, you know, if it's blowing over 10 miles an hour, I'm stuck in a small area of, you know, just cover where wind isn't really beating me up too much. And but yeah, that's kind of why I made the channel. I don't have the ability to go out, you know, if it's windy or, you know, the current's ripping too hard, because it's tough to control a boat and fish at the same time. I've done it. I have, and it sucked really bad. And but, you know, nonetheless, you guys watch me for my pretty basic knowledge, and I try to explain to you guys what goes through my mind as best as I can. And I know I'm not the best at that, because, you know, if it's a tough day of fishing, you know, it's pretty quiet out there on the water for me. You know, I don't really like talking too much. I'm really concentrating hard. Like, usually that's why I'm not talking, because I'm concentrating like crazy. But now I'm going to talk a little bit about goals. This is not really anything to do with fishing. It's just kind of my story of 2024. You know, January 1st of 2024, I was renting a room for my buddy, and, you know, I really had no, you know, I was just kind of going through my normal routine every day, and I was kind of getting tired of it. But I also told myself years back, you know, by 30 years old, I'd either have kids or own a house. Kids and wife, you know, and the kids and wife didn't happen. So I made sure that before I turned 31, I bought a house. Now, that wasn't just because, you know, I had money in the bank and I chose to, you know, wait. No, the housing market was not good, and I didn't really have the money to buy a house. And, you know, I worked my freaking butt off, like really, really hard. Like, for those of you who don't know, I'm a fireman, and, you know, before I moved and while I bought this house, I was living at work for 2 days and at home for 1, which I wasn't even home for 24 hours. I would get home at 9:30, 10 in the morning from shift, and then I would leave at 5:30, 6 the next morning to go to shift. So, you know, I was working a lot, and that was pretty much almost every shift. Like, I never worked a 24. I always worked 48s, and you technically, per policy, we can't work more than that. I would have if I could have, but you know, I worked really hard. And then you know, I bought the house, and I was like, well, you know what? I made one dream happen. Let me make another dream happen. I've always wanted to start a fishing YouTube channel. And now, when I started the channel, I really had no knowledge of snook fishing. Like, I bass fished my entire life, but I knew that they were like very similar, like techniques, you know, all that kind of stuff, tackle. You could catch them pretty much the same as bass. And I was like, I think I could do this. Like, and I happened to have a GoPro that I bought like years back on like Black Friday. I got it like for a good deal, and I was like, all right, I can strap that thing to my chest and, you know, see what happens. And if on January 1st of 2024, somebody told me you would own a house, you'd have a YouTube channel that you have over 1,000 subscribers, you know, the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had, the fish that I've caught, you know, if somebody came up and told me that my life would be the way that it is right now, I'd say, you're freaking nuts. There is no way that like what would happen. Something had to have happened. But looking back, and, you know, the way that this channel is for me, I work extremely, extremely hard for this channel. Like, my schedule is very channel oriented. You know, even on shift, if we have time, I bring my laptop with me and I'm editing videos in my bunk room. Like, you know, I'm really putting a lot of time and effort into this channel. I'm fishing so freaking much. You know, sometimes I'll come off shift, I'll fish an evening, and then I'll come home, edit until 10:30, 11 at night, and then I'll go to bed and be up at 4:35 in the morning to fish the next day all day, and then come home and edit. Sometimes I got to bring it to work, but you know, I do put a ton of effort and work and into this channel, so it didn't come like easy. I don't want to come off that it's definitely was not easy. So, you know, I just want to express to you guys 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, everything before this could have been rough. It could have been difficult. It could have been, you know, frustrating, borderline detrimental. That's okay. We've all had those years. It happens to everyone, you know. Don't take those years and make that into something that's gonna, you know, lead in or stay into your future. Stay positive. This year, I want you to make a New Year's resolution. And if you think about it every day and do just one little, it doesn't have to be anything. Like it could be so minuscule but just towards your goal. I remember one night I was sitting on the couch watching fishing on YouTube, and you know what? I was like, screw it. I'm gonna go on YouTube right now on my phone and I'm gonna just make the channel. And I knew the name that I wanted, so I just made the channel. And then right after that, I made an Instagram. Now they weren't active for 2 or 3 months, but I had it. And then from there on, I got my childhood John boat and I put a ton of work into it. And, you know, that ended up, you know, not being usable anymore, and I didn't really have the means to fix it. And then, you know, I moved on to the second boat, and here we are now. But don't think that you can't do something because it's like not your time. You know, a lot of you guys are on Instagram as well. Like a lot of the coolest fishermen we see are land-based. Like they're just out there grinding, finding spots, and just catching like absolute tanks. You know, it doesn't have, you don't even need a boat. You know, you guys have seen my last few videos of wade fishing, and you know, we catch good fish. Probably better fish than I've caught on the boat in a long time. Like you don't need a boat. You know, when it comes to it being a little bit tougher, yeah, you know, it's easier to run and gun to another spot, you know, and then try to find fish there, is where you're kind of stuck, you know, in a mile or two stretch, depending on how long you want to walk. But, you know, that's something that I think everyone should have a New Year's resolution and grind for that goal. Make it something like borderline, like crazy. Make it something you've always wanted. And if you think about it every day and just do something little, whether it's putting money away, whether it's, you know, I don't know, anything that you want, you know, within reason. Obviously you can't buy a house in a year. Like that takes years and years of saving and all that stuff. But, you know, put your mind to something and do it this year, and you will feel so proud of yourself by the end of the year. And I promise you it'll be so worth it. So that's kind of my like back off of fishing, little heartfelt, you know, 2 cents that if you guys are even watching this. But all right, guys, now we're gonna get to going over my tackle and my rods and reels and the top 5 baits I think every fisherman should have in their tackle box to be able to catch snook, tarpon, jack, redfish, and trout. So let's get into that. All right, guys, I'm gonna be going over the top 5 lures that I think every fisherman should have in their tackle box at all times, no matter where you're fishing, inshore, offshore, wade fishing, whatever the case is. I think these 5 lures should be in your backpack, tackle box, boat, whatever. They should be somewhere. I'm going to start off with number 5, and this is the DOA Bait Buster. This is an old school lure that is probably one of the most versatile lures I have ever seen in my entire life. DOA has this bait. They make these jig heads that go through the back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. See that little pocket? You put the jig head through the back, and the hook kind of comes out like that. And this thing is incredible. I recently have been focusing a little bit more on this bait, and during summertime for tarpon, I think this thing will absolutely freaking kill, and I cannot wait to throw it. Like, I'm so freaking excited to throw this thing at tarpon. Now, a lot of my buddies that fish this, you know, they slow roll it near the bottom for tarpon, and they've had great luck with that. So, you know, recently I've been using it weightless with a 5/0 screw lock hook, and I've been catching some pretty good snook with it. And I think I caught a couple jack, but it's an awesome little lure. Extremely versatile. Like I said, they make that jig head that goes through, and they're like, I think there's like 4 different weights to those jig heads. So, you know, you could have a little bit of weight, a little more, and you know, I mean, all the way up until where it's like, I don't know the exact weight. I think it's like an ounce or so. And that's what I like, you know. I would throw that at spillways, bridges with heavy current, you know, stuff like that. But this bait is one of the most, I don't know any other bait in the world that is more versatile than the Bait Buster. So if you guys don't have any, I like the silver glitter and blackback, or the gold flake and blackback, at least right now. So I do have some white ones, or pearl, and then the red head and pearl body is a pretty like old school Bait Buster color. You know, that red head and pearl body has always been kind of like a snook color, you know what I mean? Like, you always see those red tail hawks when we were growing up and all that stuff. But all right, guys, on to bait number 4. And you'll see me throw these 2 colors a lot, but the DOA 3-inch shad tail. This thing has been really showing up for me recently, especially with the trout. I have the pearl with chartreuse tail, and I have the glow and gold flake, which is also the same color I throw for my 3-inch shrimp. So, you know, I throw this one, it's, you know, the water is a little bit clearer. I kind of just go back and forth between these 2. I have been trying to throw some different colors, but I really like these 2 colors. You know, these, again, DOA has done a phenomenal job of making sure these baits are versatile. They have 16th ounce, quarter ounce, what is it, half ounce and 3/4 ounce, I believe, for the short shank jig heads for these things. Which also, not to mention, those short shank jig heads, the way that I rig these things up, I don't know, let's see if you guys can see. Ooh. The camera's not focusing. There's DOA written on the back of these baits. So what I do is I take the hook, I put it right through the nose of the bait, and then I bring the hook point through the O of DOA, and it's perfect. I love how it swims. You know, it looks good, and you have enough, like the DOA, the O and DOA is like right here. So you have all this movement going on while you're retrieving your bait. Again, extremely versatile. You know, and they have a ton of colors in them. So, you know, whatever tickles your fancy for colors, because every fisherman's different. And there's guys that, you know, will see my colors that I've caught tons of fish on and be like, oh, those are stupid. I don't even know why they make those. You know, it's a lame color. And that's just how I fish. And, you know, everyone likes their own colors, so that's why they have so many. But getting on to bait number 3. The 5.5-inch jerkbait. This lure, I'm going to start with something that really caught my attention about this bait. It lasts for frickin' ever. I grew up using Super Flukes. You know, when I first started the channel, I was using the Berkeley Jerk Shad, and all on the same 5.0, you know, extra wide gap worm hooks. I would go a day and not catch a fish on those baits, and I would have a whole pack of them sitting on my deck, because just from casting them or anything like that, I could take one of these, cast it all day long, get it in mangroves, snag it on docks, whatever, and then go out and be confident and fish with it the next trip. I would even catch fish on it, and the next trip it's perfectly fine. It's wild how durable these baits are. Another versatile bait, just talking fishing, I'm not really talking about DOA here. You know, a lot of times early morning, if I had one bait to choose, well, I can't say that. It's an extremely versatile bait if I'm fishing shallower water. You know, early morning, start out on top. It'll walk the dog perfectly. I've caught a bunch of tarpon on these things, a ton of tarpon hits, but you know, it's a really cool bait. I like the blackback and silver flake. I really like matching the hatch. I like getting things that are as natural looking as they can be, except for my pearl and chartreuse tail. I don't know why that's different, but it is, and it works. So, but yeah, I really like throwing this, you know, skip it under mangroves, top of the water, you know, work it right on top, and then, you know, as the day goes on, slow it down. It'll still, you know, slowly like come out of the water and sink back down and come back out, or, you know, do whatever it does. And it works really, really well. I really like this bait, and not to mention how durable it is. They really did a good job with this lure. You know, being a guy that has used soft plastic jerk baits his entire life, I wish I found it way, way earlier, because this is a freaking stud soft plastic jerk bait. Getting on to lure number 2. I think there is not a person in this world that should not have a Terrorize in their tackle box. Now, I'm guilty. I thought the same exact thing that you're thinking right now as I'm showing you this, if you don't fish DOA already, or at least the Terrorize. This is the silliest looking little fishing lure I have ever seen in my entire life. It is basic. It looks like a goldfish cracker. It catches fish. When I first started using it, I could not believe how good this thing worked. And, you know, again, DOA did a very good job of making it versatile. They have a 1/4 ounce jig head and a 3/8 ounce jig head for this. And, you know, I did have some in my tackle box forever. I did. I had them in my tackle box forever. I didn't know how to use them. I didn't know how to rig them. I didn't know what colors to use. But I'll tell you what, dark water, clear water, tons of current. Like the 3/8 ounce jig head will get this down to the bottom pretty well, no matter how much current you're in. If it is ripping current, I'll use the big one, Terrorize, and that one has a heavier jig head. It's slightly bigger. It's probably maybe that long, but same style body. Maybe it's a little thicker. But this thing freaking catches so many fish. It is unreal. And you guys saw me this year catch that giant, you know, on the back of Mark's boat. That was a really, really nice fish. And honestly, we were getting ready to leave and I was like exhausted from fishing all day long. And Mark just had the trolling motor going out of the marina, and I'm just sitting there trolling it, and all of a sudden I feel pressure. Like I'm not reeling, I'm not twitching it, nothing. I'm just trolling it, and I caught that absolute giant. So this bait is extremely versatile, and you know what? I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to show you how I rig my Terrorize, because it is intimidating. You know, you get one bait that is rigged, and then once that plastic is chewed up, you know, which also these things last a long time, you know, how do you rig them up? You know, so I'm going to show you that. So hold on real quick. All right, so I have my Terrorize right here, and I have my 1/4 ounce jig head. They look just like this. They have a little nipple on the front of the jig head. But what you do, here I'm going to try to do this backwards. You take the hook, you put it through the eye, into the middle of the bait, bring it through just like that, okay? Now, a lot of you have been giving me garbage about having this chewing line, but this is how I rig my Terrorize. So I take my line, put it through the eye of the bait, and then I pull the line around the nipple and around the hook eye, straighten it up, throw it back in my mouth. And now that bait doesn't have a slot for the hook eye to go through, which is kind of good. I kind of like it. But okay, so you can see the hook is kind of sticking up a little bit. I like to move the bait down to get it a little bit more like the hook kind of moved, or the bait moved up the hook shank a little bit. And then what you do is you press on the front right here to get that nipple pressed into the plastic. And what you want is there's a line, because it's a 2-piece mold. There's a line right where the hook eye is, and you just take your nail and just scratch it, and it'll pop right through, and you tie onto that, and you're good to go. You guys, now this is me explaining it. If I wasn't explaining it, it would probably take, I don't know, takes me probably 3-5 seconds to rig up a Terrorize. So, you know, don't sleep on chewing fishing line. So, but yeah, this is probably one of the best deep structure lures that is out there. And I'm saying that extremely confidently. I've caught black drum. I've caught tons of snook on this Terrorize. In different ways too, you know. Mark and the DOA guys like trolling this thing behind the boat, and it catches fish. It is wild how well this simple little bait works. You know, if you reel it fast enough, it kind of has like a little rattle trap like action. But it has become one of the baits that depending on where I'm fishing, I will always have tied on. And if I'm not catching fish with the baits that I planned on using, wherever I'm at, I'll throw a Terrorize on and I'll catch fish. So it is a phenomenal bait to use. And getting on to bait number 1, my favorite bait of all time, which never in a million years did I expect this to be my favorite bait. But when you talk about versatile, this thing is insane. The DOA 3-inch shrimp. I don't throw any other colors than the glow and gold flake, but this thing is freaking awesome. Like I said, if somebody gave me one bait to use for the rest of my life, this is it. Everything eats a shrimp, everything. I can catch mangroves, I can catch snook. I've caught my PB. I've caught a 43-inch snook on this little lure right here. And it changed fishing for me. Most shrimp on the market right now have a heavy lead head. This is weighted. It does have a weight in the belly. But the way that it sinks is just straight down. And then you get like, what I do is I give it a couple twitches and that tail in the water will like almost like snap back, like all the way down to its belly. And then you let it sink. And it's just such a slow descend that you can sit there. Like I literally will throw it under mangrove, let it drop, twitch, and like I'm moving it maybe that much. So it'll move that much and then fall. And it's super slow. These fish have time to see it, see that it's not moving super fast, and they just tear this thing up. I mean, just an absolutely phenomenal bait. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch my videos. This is the lure that I catch probably 99%. I fish this thing every time I'm out fishing. For the most part. You know, just a phenomenal lure. And again, I like natural colors. I think this looks really, really similar to a live shrimp. The solid glow in the back and then the little bit of shimmer, I think just kind of reflecting sunlight in some type of way. I really like using, you know, if I'm not using pearl, I like using some sort of glitter, you know, but this thing is freaking awesome. So whether you like DOA or not, get you some 3-inch glow and gold flake shrimp and you will not regret it. Throw it under mangroves and you will catch tons of freaking fish. On the toughest days, you'll have buddies texting you and be like, dude, I haven't caught anything. This will catch fish. I promise you. This will change your fishing on the toughest of days and you will catch fish. I would put a lot of money on it because it has for me. I never had a bait that worked like this. Smaller profile, very slow descend rate. Everything eats a shrimp. This is it. But guys, now that we've gone over some lures, I'm going to go over my rods and reels. All right, so probably one of these setups that I use the most. I'm gonna use this setup for the 3-inch shrimp, the terrorize. I threw the weightless bait buster on it. I throw the 3-inch shad tail. I'll throw the 4-inch DOA jerkbait on it. The Penn Battle 3000, and this is actually on the Penn Battle 3. I really like a 7-foot rod, medium light, fast action tip. With the baits that I'm throwing on this, it's super sensitive. The tip being fast, you can really like flick the little shrimp. I can flick it, skip that bait 10, 12 feet, you know, under a mangrove, which is killer. Like, you catch a ton of fish really getting back up in there into the shallows underneath those mangroves. So this is actually the rod that comes with the reel. I bought this as a setup I think at like Dick's or whatever. And then the rod behind me is my other 3000, and on that rod, or on that reel, I have the Squadron 3. Is that upside down or backwards? I can't turn it backwards because there's a wall there. Squadron 3, 7-foot, medium light, fast action tip. I really like this rod. I bought this off Amazon for like $50, and it's been a phenomenal rod. I don't remember which rod I caught my PB on. But I caught like almost a 40 and a 43 on both of these rods. And they're a phenomenal setup. I use POWERPRO braid only. I'm not affiliated. I've just been using them forever. You know, they have my trust. I really like their braid. I've tried other braids over the years and I'm not a huge fan. So, you know, POWERPRO, I like, you know, just how it feels, how it casts. And then I use Andy Leader. I buy it on Amazon. I'm not affiliated with them either, but I've tried multiple name brand fluoro and mono leaders, and there is nothing to me like some mono leader. Now, fishing for snook, here I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here. Fishing for snook, if you're not retying your leader after almost every fish, you're doing something wrong. Whether it's their teeth or their gill plates or they're getting you into structure, you should retie your leader almost every fish. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest, I have a 100-yard spool of fluoro leader. I tied it up for the 5.5-inch jerkbait. Tied it up, rigged everything up for the next morning, and I took it off before I even went to bed. I was like, I don't like it. It's stiff. It's the same. I was comparing apples to apples. It was 40-pound monoliter and 40-pound fluoro. I did not like it at all. Now, my buddies who I'm going to give it to swear by it, and that's their thing. Hey, great. You know what? Hey, man, take it. I'll give it to you. I don't even want money for it. For the money I spent on that fluoro was insane. I buy a 50-yard roll. Oh, what is it? Yeah, 50-yard roll of Andy. I have 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 rolls in my tackle box at all times. Personally, I'll never fish fluoro. Unless, well, you know what? I'm not going to say never, because unless I learn something crazy, you know, in the future, I'm not going to say never, but I love Andy mono leader. That's it. I'm putting all my bread in this basket. I'm a huge fan of Andy mono leader, and it's cheap on Amazon. That's where I get it from. You know, that's where I get it from. It's strong. I caught that 43 on 30-pound mono leader. After it was sprayed, if you go back and watch that video, I mentioned, I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't hook a giant because this leader's frayed and I'm too lazy to retie. That's another thing. Don't be too lazy. It is. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Please, because you never know. I was literally casting into a pocket where there was a bunch of snook, and I was just getting hits by like these like dinks, like 10 to 14 inches. And as I'm bringing it in, I caught the 43 on fray leader, brought me into the mangroves. I mean, just a fight of a lifetime. Thank God I did not break off that fish. Because, oh man. Retie, please. That's my one tip to you guys, retie. But it's done perfectly well. You know, I don't read too much on what other people say because everyone has their opinions. This is what I like. And I'm pretty much going to ride that one probably to the grave, you know, Andy Leader is spot on, pretty solid, you know, even for, you know, mono, I guess, which is not everyone's favorite. I love it. So we're going to get to my third rod. Oops. Goodness gracious, don't do that. This is my Penn Battle 4000. I've had this thing for a long time. And that's one thing I'm going to say about all three of these reels. I beat the crap out of these reels. I do. Like, I'm fishing with them constantly in a john boat. You're getting salt spray all over them all the time. Constantly. I mean, drag is being beat to crap. These reels, and don't roast me in the comments for this because I don't have reel oil. All I've done over the last few years I've had these reels, I would say, I take the spool off, I spray WD-40 in it, I take the handle off and the cap off on the other side, throw WD-40 in it, and these things work awesome. My maintenance is not something you should do. But this reel has caught enormous jack, tarpon, I mean, just giants. And it's, I took this down to the Keys and caught dolphin with it, this whole setup. And I throw 30-pound POWERPRO, and usually 40-pound mono leader on whatever I'm throwing. And then the rod is the Offshore Angler Gold Cup inshore. Let's see. Let's get a specific. It's a 7-foot, 12 to 20 pound, 3/8 to 2 ounce lures rod. I freaking love this thing. I kind of am almost thinking to go to Bass Pro and just grab a few of these rods. God forbid they discontinue them because I like it so much. It's a good stick. I like it a lot. You know, and as much as I fish, I'm throwing these rods all day long. The Squadron is super light. You know, I like these rods a lot. And then for my bigger setup, I recently got this. Oh. This is my Shimano Spheros. I think it's a 5500? 5000. The 5000 SW 5000 XG. I have this spooled up with 40-pound POWERPRO. Usually I'll throw the PT on it, but it's also a Star Rod Stellar Light medium heavy 7.6, 12 to 20 pound, 3/8 to 2 ounce, and it's a pretty good stick. I mean, I think there's not too much that I won't take on with this. Like if I go down to the Keys and tarpon fish, this is going to be the rod that I use. I haven't caught too many fish on this setup. A couple jack or snook, but I really want to get some use out of this thing. The guy from Snook, Noah, he told me it's basically all the internals of the Saragossa, which was a selling point for me, and it wasn't super expensive as well. Which also another thing I want to talk about the Penn Battles is they're not expensive. You know, everyone nowadays is so caught up in the kind of equipment that you throw, and I'm not saying go to Walmart and get a Walmart setup because you'll get destroyed and those are really cheap. Take that money, you know, save up a little bit more and go to Dick's or you know, Bass Pro and get yourself one of these Penn Battle setups. I think I paid like $150 for the rod and reel, and throw yourself some good braid on it, anti-mono leader, And that's another thing too about these baits. These baits are not expensive. DOA does a phenomenal job of pricing their baits fairly, and you know, they can excuse me, they can reach out to any market. Not to mention their baits last a long time. You know, they don't tear up all that easy. You know, I'll fish one shrimp pretty much all day if I'm not getting snagged and, you know, being aggressive. But, you know, I've caught 8-10 fish on one shrimp. And same with the terrorize. I mean, unless I'm clanging and banging it on docks and pilings, which any bait that you throw, if you bang it off of a piling and barnacles are there, it's going to cut up your soft plastic. So, you know, those are just kind of the my 2 cents into fishing and what I use. And, you know, you guys can take whatever you want from this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But, you know, I really just want to say in closure, thank you. You know, I mentioned earlier in the video how if somebody said this would be my life right now, I would call them crazy. Yes, I put a lot of work into the channel and fishing, but none of this would be possible without you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate how much you guys have changed my year of 2024, and I plan to make 2025 pretty freaking awesome for you guys too, as far as watching fishing content. So, you know, thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of your comments, likes, views. You know, everything means the world to me. And I can't wait to see what 2025 holds for all of us. And don't forget to make those goals. And guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.